Hi, it's Megan. So I am a huge Divergent fan. No, actually, just kidding. My daughter is a huge Divergent fan. I have no idea what the book's about. Well, I do now, but I know there's a movie coming out, there's a book, whatever. But my daughter's a huge fan, and so I was watching for this Divergent collection. It's big. Make sure it fits into the camera. I was watching for this limited edition Divergent multi-piece collector's kit. It comes in this plastic, and the packaging is just, I don't know, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's big. So you open it up. It's what, $59.50 I think on Sephora's website, and right now it's just VIB Rouge only, but my guess is they're going to open it up to everyone pretty soon. They have to. Okay, this is going to be hard to hold up. Things are falling, but I'm going to do it. You get this whole set of makeup and brush. And I don't like doing long reviews. I'm going to do a longer review on this, but I'm going to give my overview first. So people who don't like watching long reviews, like I don't like watching long reviews, can get input, and then people that want to see like individual swatches and whatnot can do that. So in the beginning, as I talk, I'm going to overlay swatches of the colors outside in natural sunlight. So you can see the colors even if you don't want to see me go through them like one by one. You get cards, look cards, Erudite palette, Dauntless palette, and Abnegation palette, which I guess have to do with the different categories of people in the Divergent book and movie. And you get a blush palette with a highlighter and bronzer. You get 3 of the eyeshadow palettes, and these are 4 shades, and then there's like a transformer shade, which reminds me a lot of the Urban Decay Moon Dust eyeshadows. I had a hard time actually working these into a look, not because I don't love them, I actually adore them. I think they're amazing, but overall the colors I thought were pretty shimmery anyway, and 4 colors on my eye is enough without having to try to work in another shimmer. Not that I wouldn't use it, I will. I mean, I think these are great, they're gorgeous. And they're the only ones when I did the swatches outside that I did a swipe twice, only because they're beautiful. The first swipe, they're like this sheer, shimmery, just glistening, light hitting water kind of effect. But then when you put the second swipe on, you get real buildup of the color. So I wanted to show the color, not just the sheer shimmer. This is the second one. This one's a cooler tone. The first one was a little bit warmer tone. This is a cooler tone, kind of the grays and the blacks. And the last one is the one I have on my eyes. And this again is kind of a warmer undertone look. It's just a simple, natural look. And then you got the 4 lip glosses, which look a lot like the Hourglass lip glosses. They wear on me about an hour to an hour and a half, which is fine for lip gloss wear. I have super pigmented lips, so I'm actually going to take these lip glosses on and off so you can see the different colors on me on camera, and then you can see how pigmented my lips are. So I'm going to do lip glosses first, then I'll do the eyeshadows and the blush. But first I'm going to give you my overview. You get this brush, and it's a fine brush. It's a fine brush. I mean, it's good quality. It's not amazing. It's fine. And so, what do I think of the whole set? First of all, like I said, the packaging is amazing. I just think it's so beautiful. And these are cardboard, but they're a high quality cardboard. It's almost like they have some kind of coating on them. They're a high quality cardboard. And you have plastic here holding everything, and then this is kind of a cardboard that opens up. There is no mirror, which I guess people complain so much about mirrors not standing up. They didn't put a big one in. They did put little ones. I haven't taken the little film off so I can still show it on camera. These each have a mirror, as does the blush. So the eyeshadows in general, I was very pleasantly surprised. Overall, there's a lot of shimmer in this. It's not really chunky, glistening, glittering, big types of glitter, but it's a very glistening palette. So I've got a couple things on my hand here. You can see everything kind of shimmers. This is the 3rd of the eye sets, and they're all beautifully pigmented. There's a lot of light colors. There are a few mattes, a lot of shimmery, really pretty. I did a graduation of shimmers on my lid and then did the transforming shadow here in the middle. But like I said, I thought that was almost too much shimmer. I would prefer to use the transforming shadow alone. It's just that pretty. I would actually get great wear out of it. But I was really pleasantly surprised with the quality of the shadows. They're pigmented, they last really well. I have them with an eyeshadow primer right now, and I would urge you to use them with an eyeshadow primer. With an eyeshadow primer, they lasted a good 8 or 9 hours on me. And I haven't tried them without, but they do swatch really well. So these are not super cheap, icky, gross, bad quality shadows. They might not be the best quality shadows you've ever had, and if you don't like shimmer, I can promise you, you won't like them. But they're shimmery, almost to the metallic point, but not quite metallic, because I don't like metallic, it doesn't work on me. But they're not quite there, so they're a workable shimmer if you like shimmer. And then I also felt like the undertone of the palette was leaning a little bit warmer, but it also is a more natural looking palette, which is really smart given that the audience for this is probably younger, skews younger, and a lot of them, their parents are going to want them wearing more natural looking makeup, so, or they don't want to really pile it on yet. So that worked for me. The company, so this is Divergent makeup or whatever, Divergent, what do they call it? They say, well, it's Divergent makeup. They say it's made in the USA, distributed by HCT Group Santa Monica. So I looked that up online, and HCT Group has been around since 1992, and they say it's a global leader for full turnkey solutions for beauty. It's in Santa Monica, Paris, and Hong Kong, among others. They have factories. So what this basically is, I think, based on that, is they just basically are repackaging or packaging from their own factories and not brand labeling, although sometimes they might be selling to brands, cosmetics. But this is what they do for a living. They've been around for a while. They are cosmetic producers, and I was pleasantly surprised with the quality of the eyeshadows. I also liked the quality of the lip glosses. They do look a lot like the Hourglass lip glosses. I don't have any of the Hourglass lip glosses, so I don't know if they're similar. They've got a strong peppermint scent to them. I don't taste peppermint, but they do have a strong peppermint scent. What I didn't like, we have two blushes here. I've got the Coral blush on right now, and I think it's really pretty. It's natural looking. It, you know, is a good shade. Did not like this right here, which is called Misty Rose. I didn't like it. I thought it just bad pigmentation. The color's fine. It just didn't really live up to the quality of the rest of the palette. I loved this highlighter, so I put some of that right here. And for some reason I look kind of pale today, but both the highlighter and the bronzer, which is kind of a lighter bronzer, but it leans gold. Both of these have like a really pretty gold undertone and a very soft shimmer to them. So this bronzer for me is of limited use, but very pretty. I can't do real kind of matte shading on my face with it because it does have that gold undertone and shimmer. It's too light, but I really like colors like this. And I didn't mix it in with the blush. I did put a little bit kind of in a 3 leading into the blush, but I really liked that. So of these, I like them all. Now I'm gonna turn off the camera for a second because I forgot my makeup remover, and then I'm going to do the lip glosses. I'm going to put a little bit of bronzer on, and I'll show you the eyeshadows. Overall though, I was very pleasantly surprised with the consistency of the quality of this makeup. The wearability is great. The blush lasts about 8 hours on me, as did the bronzer and the highlighter. And like I said, the lip glosses last about an hour to an hour and a half, which is about as good as it gets. And I'm trying to talk fast. I don't want this to be an hour, but I'm just going to be back in 1 second. I'm going to try to swatch these on my wrist. It's not going to show up very well. It's a very creamy, kind of warm to neutral peach. Not a lot of shimmer in this, but it does glisten a lot. So this is what I have on my lips, and you can see just a soft shimmer from it. When I take it off using a makeup remover, you'll see what I mean when I say that I've got such pigmented lips. All of these, I don't want to say they look the same, they look similar, and I don't need a lot more coverage than these give me. So they're fine for me. I of course forgot my Kleenex. The next one is the most shimmery of the lot. This is called Temptation's Choice. So if you see the two, I can barely tell the difference. This one is a cooler undertone, and it's got a lot more shimmer in it. This one was the first one I showed you. That's kind of like a milkier, warm nude, and they do go on very sheer. I don't like the applicator. It's very small, and so you'll see I have to dip it a number of times to get an even application, but they don't bunch up on the lips. So on me, Temptation's Choice is just adding a little bit of glisten to my natural lip color. It's not really muting it, adding to it, it's just kind of neutralizing it. I mean glistening. The next one is Natural Virtue, and the outdoor swatch is going to show better than the indoor just because this is a really pretty pinky mauve-y nude. Again, I have to reapply like 3 times. Just a good natural nude. It adds a little color but not a lot. This one doesn't have a lot of glisten. It's kind of just a sheen without a lot of glitter. It's nice. It's pretty. I like them. They're usable. Not everyone will agree. Other people might want more pigmentation. Lip gloss on me, if it lasts an hour and a half, that's all I expect. The last one does add a little color after 3 applications. And this one's called Fear Not, and this is like a beautiful darker mauve, maybe a little bit of a, no, I don't think it has a plum undertone, more of a mauve, and it does have a sheen, a slight sheen to it. This one adds the most color. The blush brush can also be used to highlight, and then you have a shadow brush, which is really a great crease brush. I look to the side just because that's where the camera is. So on my eyes is my favorite of the 3. And let's see if I can do this. They're already swatched outside. So this is what you get. You get the Transform shade right there. And this to me is like a white silver. Yeah, it's not going to show, it's too light. Then I have the Bold Espresso, which is, look at that. It's just a beautiful pigmented matte brown with a warm undertone. Sometimes this can be hard. Warm browns, I think, can sometimes be the hardest to do a matte in. A lot of companies just don't do it very well. Intrepid Moss, it's a beautiful taupe with kind of like a sage green undertone, very pretty. And then Golden Honesty, a beautiful gold, which does great, it's not going to show that well here, beautiful coverage on the eye. You get a really good, even, opaque coverage. And that one has, I would say, almost a slight copper undertone to it. These are all warm. Altruistic Almond, it's just a good base shade. It almost has a peachy undertone to it. It's a matte. And so what I did here is I took, this is what I have on my eyes, I took a big shadow brush like this, and I took the Altruistic Almond, the base shade, and just put that under the brow bone. I took the Golden Honesty and put that, you use the big brush just because Golden Honesty is such a lighter color. I put that right there in the outer corners of my eyelid and then up into the crease a little bit. Then I took the Intrepid Moss with a smaller brush like this and put that right in the middle here and up into the crease. Then I took the Bold Espresso, and first I did a liner brush like this, very thin liner brush, and I wet it. It works beautifully wet. And I lined my eye with it, and then I did a little bit down right here into the lower lash line. Then I took my smaller brush again. I took the same, the Bold Espresso, and I put that a little bit right here on the outer corner of the eye and then into the crease. And then I blended it a little bit in here. Then I took this really great light brush. I don't even know where I got it from. It's hard to duplicate. It's a Laura Mercier brush, I think. Yeah, very thin brush. And I took some of the sage and I just blended that in the lower lash line. And then I took the Transform shade and just put that here. I would wear the Transform shade actually all by itself. I like it that much. I think it's really pretty. It's the kind of soft, shimmery, glistening thing that's just going to open up my eye. It's hard to show on camera. It's really gorgeous if you like that kind of shade. So that's what I did on my eyes. Really like how natural and pretty and soft and warm these shades are, and I like the quality. Really beautiful, in my opinion. Better than I expected. The next palette, do these have names on them? So that first one was called the Annegation Eye Palette, which will mean a lot more to some people than to others. The next one is the Dauntless Eye Palette, and this is the cooler toned one. And first we have Serene Vanilla, which isn't going to show up very much on camera, but this is like a, oh god, it's like a wet oyster shell, mother of pearl. It's not fully matte, but it just has that like pink undertone to it, really pretty. Then Erudite Sapphire. Again, these are really, like, it takes one swipe to get just a beautiful swatch, which I didn't expect. It's a cool toned sapphire, I guess sapphire blue, a little bit navy, but you can see a little bit of like an undertone, a little glisten is, what's it called? Like a purplish, tiny bit, not a lot, just it leans more to the purples. Lavender maybe, more than purple. Abnegation Stone. Again, this has a slight lavender undertone to it. It's like a taupey gray with a lavender undertone. Again, one swatch, you got a beautiful, beautiful bit of color. Dauntless Ink is a matte black. And then what's really kind of a fun color, Diverge, is this, it's like a gray black with almost a golden undertone to it with the light shifts. So these would make a really beautiful, great smoky eye. Very nice. I like those. And the next one is Erudite. And my daughter actually explained all these to me and I've forgotten. I am so sorry. Humble Sheen, like all the different, what they're all supposed to mean. Erudite obviously means you're good at writing books, I don't know, reading. The first one here is Humble Sheen, and this comes across as like a peach champagne right there. I should probably show all these palettes one more time. The next color is Peaceful Shimmer, definitely like a rich peach. These are the, see, they're not quite metallic, they're glistening but not quite metallic. Now we have Radiant Initiation, which is maybe not as pigmented as all the others. It's a very warm taupe. Yeah, that's not going to show up so much. It's almost matte, almost a matte. It's like a warm sable taupe kind of color. Burnt Mahogany is just, again, they're doing a really great job with the matte browns. It's almost a matte. It's not fully a matte, but it's a warmer, when they say mahogany, they really mean like a warmer undertone brown, a little bit reddish. And then Choose, which I love. Again, just this amazing glistening effect. And this one's kind of like a taupey champagne. No, it's more of a champagne. And so that was Erudite palette. Like I said, I hate long videos, so once you get through this. The Dauntless palette. And the Abnegation palette, the one I'm wearing. Then the blushes and the highlighters. So I really do adore the Obscure Coral. It's right there. You can see it's just a very pigmented, vivid coral. It goes on very pigmented, but it does blend beautifully. So it wasn't too strong a color for me. Misty Rose, I guess, I don't know. I just don't like it quite as much. I guess I don't. It's a matte, and I just find it a little bit chalky. It's a pretty color. It's a natural looking color on, very pretty in that respect. It works on my complexion. I have a warmer undertone, so both of these I think lean a little bit warmer. If you have a cooler undertone, they might not quite be as easy to work with. But I just didn't like that blush as much. The Gleaming Pearl, I love how it looks so white in the pan and then it goes on with like this beautiful golden undertone. So to show you with a brush, you can just see how it goes on. I'm not blending it completely so you can just see it. You can just see how it just goes on beautifully. And then Intelligent Bronze, which is very bronze in the pan. And it's a little chalkier too, but it's got kind of a golden undertone, which surprised me. I didn't think it was going to be that golden. And this, we take the brush and blend it in. It applies fine. It's not, again, it's like the blush. These are the two kind of weaker, this right there, these are two of the weaker things I think in the palette. So or that palette and the whole collection. Overall, I really like it. I mean, it's not going to be your perfect quality makeup at this price point since you get this all for $59, but I was really pleasantly surprised at how great the makeup was. And I like the colors. I really especially love the eyeshadows, although I will use the lip glosses if they don't find their way into my daughter's collection, which I suspect they will. I would use them just because they're very natural, easy colors to just throw on and put over lipstick if you want a little gleam and glisten. But overall, a great product. Please subscribe on YouTube if you have this. I would love to hear what you think, good or bad, especially if you've got a cooler undertone to your skin, because like I said, this works great with a warm undertone. I would expect that most of these colors work beautifully with a cooler undertone. Not always so sure about that coral blush, but I'm curious. And I said subscribe on YouTube. If you have suggestions for other videos, please let me know, and thank you.